And we sort of believe within our team that, the knowledge and the skills that young people have, it has the potential to bring about big decisions and problem solving. And with climate change being such a global problem, it tends to impact these everyday lives. And what we tend to look in within our group is how can we make a difference within these communities? And that's exactly what drives us to connect, to learn, to collaborate, and to lead the way. This is the very heart of our motives, and that's exactly why we are here. The impacts of climate change are very different for different people. For some, it might mean that, they do not have basic access to water because of droughts or dry spells. For some, it might mean that they're moving away from lands because their islands are sinking. It really impacts everyday lives of people, of which we young people are a part of. So, all these initiatives actually make us natural connectors and collaborators. It's with that drive that we do work at multiple levels. We do works at grassroots levels. Like Lindsay mentioned, of course, we have initiatives of capacity building, we have initiatives in education, we have initiatives on people connecting firsthand with the communities. We see youth taking charge, bringing up innovations, helping communities. We're also making people accountable for what they do. And, a lot of these efforts sometimes are done in individual capacities to help communities adapt and mitigate to climate change. So what these people sometimes lack is the connect of them with other people who are doing similar works in similar regions. So, the Water Change Makers Award is one of that platform which gives them an opportunity so that their efforts are acknowledged. It's brought to a level where they can get access to different water experts and get to know what is happening within the system. In times of crisis like this, everyone, including you and me, what we think perhaps is, to keep our near ones safe, keep our families safe. We're all away from each other. So I think the idea of climate resilience is perhaps not even in the agenda. But that does not mean that it's not there at all, because if you look at a lot of these climate protests, which usually used to happen on the streets, they're still happening. People are still voicing their concerns. It's just that a different platform has been taken. But I think what I'd like to highlight here is that a pandemic like this, it has the potential to worsen certain circumstances because of climate change again. I mean, let's imagine the importance of washing your hands and sanitizing your hands, which is quite important right now. But if you look at people who don't have enough water to access, let alone wash their hands, don't you think it'll actually push them to more unhygienic conditions, which could perhaps worsen later? So I think there is some merit to give climate resilience a thought, because it'll help us. I mean, it'll help us protect ourselves in a way that we can prevent something like this in future.